Howdy folks! So today we have a globe that I bought for Rafiki a couple of years ago, and it had a light as part of it. Rafiki got very cross one day and threw it across the room, and it broke into parts and the light broke, and it's been sitting in a corner in parts ever since. So I did the old trick that I love of ripping the toilet paper into shreds, dipping it in glue and whacking it on. Now, it was quite tricky doing this with Rafiki because he really wasn't watching the outlines. The glue was going everywhere. It's a globe. It was slipping around. So I just had to do it teeny bits at a time. Go away, wait for it to dry, go back, nudge it back to where it should all actually be, trying really hard to keep it in the outlines. Sometimes having a little check on Google Maps to see where on earth the lakes and whatnot and seas were supposed to be. It wasn't a great one for Rafiki to get involved in, but I feel like it would be a really good one for slightly older children to help with, because it's really interesting actually to see where lots of the countries and the canals and the lakes and whatnot are. And then when it was all dry, I got started on painting the sea, just this kind of bluey grey colour to start with as the base colour, and coating that all around, all over. I got Rafiki to help out in parts, as you can see.
Alright, it's quite a big glob there.
And it really is quite interesting to see. There was loads of islands there that I hadn't really clocked where they exactly were, so it was interesting to study the globe. So as you can see, the grey-blue colour, I really wanted to get into all the nooks and crannies and right up to the coastline before I started with this more blue colour to go in the deeper seas. And then when that dried, it turned out really cracked, which is kind of cool and is kind of okay. And I don't mind a few cracks, but I thought actually I'll go back to that later. For the land, I started off painting it a dark green colour and painting it with a really wet brush, really loading up that brush with paint every time to make sure it covers everything. At this point, Rafiki told me it looked disgusting and gross, like a swamp. And I do get what he means. It does look like a disgusting, gross swamp at this point. But we're not done yet, so that's fine. I'm really sorry, Madagascar. I know that that's not your shape. That was one of the first countries we did together. Sorry. And then when that was dry, I went back and covered it, the highlights, so not getting into all the cracks this time, but covering it with that lighter green. And I was a bit worried about how that would turn up because it's so much lighter, and I was a bit worried that it would look a bit neon. But actually, when it dried a lot darker. That's the problem with it sometimes. The difference between the paint, how it looks when it's wet and how it looks when it's dry, can be massive. So you have to just keep trying and testing and seeing and adjusting. But actually I was like, it's okay, when it's dried it looks all right. And then on to Greenland, which looks ding now, and consulting the maps to try and work out where the snow-covered mountains in the world were. And I was quite tempted to leave the land like that, but I also got bored and wanted to add more to it because I didn't feel like I was quite done with this project yet. So I thought, no, we'll look at Google Maps and we shall see where the deserts are, and I'll have a go at that. And originally I wanted to paint it in a yellowy gold colour, but actually that yellow I didn't like at all. So I went back and covered it over with just pure gold because it just looked cooler and nicer and more interesting. And then I went with one more coat, really thick, on the deep blue seas, to try and cover over a lot of the cracks that were there. So still letting a lot of the cracks through. You can still see some of the words shining through. I don't really mind that. And then I thought, you know what, we're happy with this. Rafiki came to help me varnish. It was stressful, but we ploughed on through it, and he felt like he was really helping. So that was great. And I'm sure at some point it will become a delight to do crafting projects with him and not just stressful. And this is it. Ta-da! This is the world that we live on. It's the one planet we're going to get, etc. And it looks really cool and it's interesting. And the conversations immediately with Rafiki started happening about, well, where's that? What's that? And I wanted to put it in his room. his room has got this space theme anyway, so I knew it would look really cool there. And I spent ages, this is so embarrassing, like I spent ages faffing around with bits of wood and bits of string and just kept doing it all wrong. And that's how it's attached. That bit of wood is tied up with string, it's in there, and there's then the string coming out the top. But I spent ages faffing before I got to that point. And then I added some lights on the inside, and they're just fairy lights that are powered by USB, and this is it. And I'm really happy with it. I think it looked really cool. I couldn't really have predicted how it would look with the cracks and the colours, but it's just a very interesting thing to look at during the night. The way that it shines through the paper mache and through the cracks, it kind of looks like there's little cities all lit up at night, and it's really cool. So thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would love to see some more videos of me upcycling old toys, then please like and subscribe. Thanks very much. See you again soon. Bye.